A very good morning to each one of you. Hope you all will be fit and fine. Stay home, stay safe. Students, in English grammar, now I shall start 7th chapter, that is pronouns. What is a pronoun? A pronoun is a word that is used in place of a noun. We say, Hina is the teacher. She teaches class 8th. We have used the pronoun she in place of the noun Hina. A pronoun is used to replace a noun, mostly because we don't wish to sound repetitive by using the same noun several times. Since a pronoun replaces a noun, it has the same function as a noun. So here, first time you used Hina, but for the second time you used she. Let's go further. Look at the two versions of a sentence. First one, let's ask Lena if Lena will help us. Second one, let's ask Lena if she will help us. In the second version, students, we have replaced the noun Lena with the pronoun she. Lena is the antecedent of the pronoun she. Means what? Lena refers to she. Here, the noun that a pronoun refers to directly is called its antecedent. The children laughed and shouted as they ran around the yard. About whom are you talking? Children. So children is the antecedent and here the pronoun is they. I shall read again. The children laughed and shouted as they ran around the yard. So children will be antecedent and they will be pronoun. Next sentence. This is Meeta's book. Put it in her bag. About whom are we talking? About Meeta we are talking. Meeta will be the antecedent of the pronoun her. What are you going to put in the bag? Book. So here, book is the antecedent of the pronoun it. Once again I shall read. This is Meeta's book. Put it in her bag. So book will be antecedent and here what is the pronoun instead of book? It. So it is a pronoun. Students, there are several types of pronouns. Let's study some of them. We have personal pronoun, possessive pronouns, then we have reflexive pronouns, we have even relative pronouns, we have interrogative pronouns, which asks questions. We'll be going in detail. Then we have indefinite pronouns, demonstrative pronouns. So, I'll be explaining each and every in proper detail. Let's go for the first one, that is personal pronouns. Now, what are personal pronouns? Let's see. The personal pronouns in English are I, we, you, he, she, it and they. Students, you have to learn. Once again repeating, I, we, you, he, she, it and they. The table below shows the uses of personal pronoun. There are columns. Here a table is being shown. There are columns. Personal pronouns. One is subjective and the other one is objective. We have done in a transitive and intransitive sentences in the previous classes also, students. In subject side if it will come, then it is subjective. In object side if it will come, then it will be objective. Then we have number, singular and plural. Then we have gender, where male and female will come. Then refers to whom? Person. Here, I will change into me Then if it is singular, the number here I is singular, so it will be singular. Gender, I can stand for both male and female, so both. The person speaking, that is the first person. Next one, we have three persons: first person, second person, third person. So here it is first person. I is first person. Second person, what will come, student? You. And third person, he, she, it, they, and many. Let's go further. Next one, we. If we is there in subjectives, that is in subject place. Object, if it will turn, then it will be us. And we, when I say it is more than one, so it is plural. It can be used for male also and female also. So both. Next, the person speaking is again the first person. We means you are including yourself with others. Next one, you. You, if it is in subjective place, then in objective also, it will be you only. You is taken for singular also and plural also. So both. You can be used for male and female, so again both. Next one, refers to person. In that, it can be persons also spoken to. That is second person. Usually we take you as plural, so second person. Next one, we have he. He is a singular only. He means what? He is a boy. So here, he is singular. He will turn into, in objective case, him. He is a single person, so singular. He stands for male, so male. And that is the gender will be male. And he is a third person. First person, second person, third person. So I told you prior also, he is third person. Third personal pronoun. Next one is she. If she is there in subjective case, then she will turn into objective case as her. And in number, she means what? Single. A single girl. A single lady. So here singular. And gender will be female. And now the person spoken about is the third person pronoun. That is third person. That is third personal pronoun. Next, it. It stands for animals also. It stands for non-living things. And even babies also. So here, it. If it is there in subjective case, then in objective case it will be it only. And it stands for single thing, so singular. And here, no male, female will come, non-personal it will be. Next one, it stands for third personal pronoun, that is third person. Next one, we have they. If in subjective case they is there, in subject they is there, then in objective them will come. They is more than one, so plural it is. And they can be male, female or non-personal also. That is, here depends on the, we would be talking about the jury also, we would be talking about something else also. So here, again it is third personal pronoun. So here I complete the table. Next one, personal pronouns may be the subject or the object in the sentence or a clause. Clause, I'll be teaching you in clauses chapter. When personal pronouns occur as the subject of the sentence or clause, we use their subjective forms, that is I, we, you, he, she, it and they. So here right now I explain in the table also. In subjective case what will come? I, we, you, he, she, it and they will be coming. For example, Raja went to play cricket. Instead of Raja, you will use he. He went to play cricket. So he is the subject of the sentence. Second one, the team left the office and they went partying. So after completion, they had won and so they had a party. So here instead of team, that is, we'll be using they. They, subject of the clause, they went partying. So here, going further, we use objective forms of personal pronoun when they occur as the object of the verb or preposition. So here, it should be, the pronoun should be object of the verb, students, or of a preposition. So before the verb, after the verb, a preposition will be there I shall explain in detail further. These pronouns are me, us, you, her, him, it, and them. In the table also it's given in objective. Personal pronoun objective, where subjective is there, next to that objective is given. What are they? Me, us, you, him, her, it, and them. They will stand as objective when you ask a question to the verb, and sometimes to the preposition. For example, mother took the children home. And that same sentence, what will be the further? Mother took them home. So instead of the children, you'll be using them. Once again reading, mother took the children home. So here, instead of the children, you'll use mother took them home. Them is mother took home, them. Mother in the first one, mother took home the children. So instead of the children, you'll be using them. Again, if I ask a question to the verb, that is took. If I'll ask the question, mother took home them. So them is the object over here. Them, object of the verb took. The children had a great time when mother took them to the park. So here students, them, instead of children, you are using them, more than one. So here it is the object of the verb took. And in this particular sentence we have one clause, that is when mother took them to the park. So here I'll be explaining that particular clause in the clauses chapter. This is pronouns chapter, so we'll concentrate on the pronouns. So do not get confused. Concentrate on pronouns. So here, don't make fun of me. Now here, in this particular sentence, of me is given. Of is a preposition, and after that the object me is there. So here me is the object of the preposition of. Don't make fun of whom? Me. So next one, as we can see from the table above, gender is applicable to only the third person singular pronouns, that is he and she. So genders are applicable for he stands for male and she stands for female. But it refers to non-personal entities, that is things or even babies or animals, and is considered to have neuter gender. Neuter gender, when you don't know that whether, like bucket is what? It's not a male and female, so it is neuter gender. Next one, that is non-living thing. For example, he was. Here three examples are given, student. First one I'm reading. He was not telling the truth. So here we asked him to own up. So here instead of he, you're using him. Means what? In subject side, he will come. But in object side, what will come? Him will come. Next one. Reena was late. I told her to hurry to the bus stop. I told whom? Her. So here Reena is being placed as her in object side. Next one. Switch on the oven. You can call oven also. I'll go for oven. Heat it to 180 degrees. So here instead of oven, you are using it because it is a non-personal entities, that is, it is a non-living thing. Now certain things are being told. The pronoun it can refer to a variety of things. It is used for what? First thing, for things without life. Second, for animals. Third, as a temporary subject when the real subject follows introductory it. I shall explain in detail below. Next one, when speaking to weather or time, we use it. Let's see. First rule, for things without life. Take the cake. Put it in the fridge. So you are using cake. Cake, is it having life? No. So you'll be using it. Next one, did you look for it in the closet? You are looking for something and that is called it. Next one, for animals you are using it. Examples are, Atul lost his dog. It ran away. What ran away? It. It denotes to whom? The dog. Next one, the bear has escaped from its cage. Whose cage it belonged to? Bears. So here you'll be using its. Next one, as temporary subject when the real subject follows introductory it. It is important that you listen. What is important? That you listen. So here, first is the introductory it. So it is denoted to what? Listening. So it is over here temporary subject. Next one. It was apparent that she was angry. It was natural that she was angry. What was she angry? About whom we are talking? She. It was apparent, natural. So here we are talking about her anger, and so we will use it over here. Next one, third rule. When speaking of the weather or time, we will be using it. It will rain today. What will rain today? It. So next one. It is quite late. What is quite late? It. So depends. It is important to use the objective form of the personal pronoun when it occurs as the object of the verb or a preposition. However, errors are common when such objects are joined by conjunction and or. So here errors are common when such objects. So you have to be cautious, you have to be careful what to be used and when to be used. Let's go further. Two examples are given. The sports teacher has asked you and me to meet him after school. You won't be using the sports teacher has asked you and I. You will be using you and me. So you have to be careful for that. Next one. There is food for Rita and me in the fridge. Again, you won't use Rita and I, but you will use Rita and me. Remember that when two pronouns occurring as the subject of the sentence are joined by and or, we use the subjective pronouns. So here, Jatin and I, here both are coming in the subjective case. So you will be using I. Here in the above one, it was in the objective case. Here in the second one, Jatin and I went for the show. Who went for the show? Jatin and I. So they are coming in the subjective side. So they are subjective pronouns. Second example, you and I are in this together. So here also, you and I are in this together. Who are there in this together? You and I, not you and me. Be little careful regarding this. Next one. Conjunctions like then or as well as and many more. Okay, join clauses which are often understood and are not stated. To know whether we should use the subjective or the objective pronoun in such sentences, we need to complete the clause. Now here I shall tell you how. Let's see. Suri is shorter than I, and in the bracket M is given. But you have to be cautious. It's a wrong sentence. You will be given in the exam as Suri is shorter than dash. So at that moment you will use me because it came in objective side. So don't get confused, student. In the textbook it is given. I'm going to give you the clipping also. So be cautious. You will be writing me. Next one. Minnie is not as naughty as they. Here in the textbook there is a mistake, so you'll do the correct answer. How you'll write? It is given in the bracket are. So here you'll do the rectification. Minnie is not as naughty as they are, and then you'll give a full stop. Here are is a verb, not a this thing pronoun. So they is a pronoun. So the mistake of the writer. You have to be cautious of that. However, then also functions as a preposition. So then is over here acting as preposition. If we consider then a preposition, the sentence would have been Suri is shorter than me. Now they had not given the correct answer of the second one, Minnie, but I had given the correct answer. What it is? Minnie is not as naughty as they are. That will be your answer. In the exam, instead of are, you will be underlining will be given for they. So you will complete that by adding they, because it is a pronouns chapter, not verbs chapter. So be careful. Next one. Pronouns that come after preposition as their objects are always objective. So objectives, yeah, as I told you first also, when it comes in subject, then it will be subjective, and when it comes in object sign, then it will be objective. Now your example is given. This is Namit's pen. Please give it to whom? To him. So him, the object of the preposition to. So before him, what is there is a preposition to. So be cautious, careful. Next one. Please wait for me. So again, please wait for whom? For me. Before me, what is there? For. For is what? Again a preposition. But this chapter is pronoun, so you learn only that where him will come, where me will come. Be careful. I met Leander Pease on the flight. I sat next to him. So here I met Leander Pease. The name is given on the flight, and in the exam I sat next to dash will come. So I sat next to whom? Him. So him will be the object. It is in the objective side. Students, here two columns are given. In that one column belongs to possessive adjectives and the other belongs to possessive pronouns. Now how to recognize possessive adjective? For example, this is my pen. This is whose pen? My. And here, how to recognize that the noun comes after the possessive adjective. So at last, the noun will come, and before that, possessive adjective will come. Now when you are going for possessive pronouns, this pen is mine. So here after verb, the pronoun will come. So you have to understand in possessive adjectives how it will come. Last, before the possessive adjective, a noun will be there. Sorry, after the possessive adjective, a noun will be there, and before a possessive adjective will be there. And in possessive pronoun, after a verb it comes. So you have to understand. Now I shall read it. First one. This is my pen. So here you will underline my, and that will be your possessive adjective. Next one. This is our house. Whose house? Our. So our is possessive adjective. Next one. Have you taken your bag? Whose bag? Your. So your is possessive adjective. That is her house. Whose house? Her. So her is possessive adjective. Their house is quite large. Whose house is quite large? Their. So you have to understand and you have to form the question. Now when I'm going to possessive pronoun, this pen is mine. This pen is whose? Answer question whose? Mine. So you'll get the answer. This house is ours. This house is whose? Ours. Is this bag yours? Is this bag whose? Yours. So yours will be possessive pronoun. That red house is hers. That red house is whose? Hers. So here you can see that in the over here also, that when you are looking at these examples, after the verb it comes. Only one question is there. A question is asked. Over there you have to understand. Last one. That large house is theirs. That large house is whose? Theirs. So here theirs is again a possessive pronoun. Now here, possessive adjectives always need to be used with nouns. Once again, possessive adjectives always need to be used with nouns. A noun almost always follows a possessive adjective. Means what? If the example I had given, this is my pen. So before the noun, what will come? Possessive adjective will come. Next one, possessive pronouns can stand on their own and the noun does not follow the pronoun. As I told you first also, that it comes after the verb. The pronouns his may be used as possessive adjective or a possessive pronoun. There is a rule that his can be used for both, for possessive adjective also and for possessive pronoun. For example, this is his chair. Now here in this particular example, it is possessive adjective. His is a possessive adjective. And the second one, this chair is his. So here it is acting, his is acting as possessive pronouns. Now here, never use the apostrophe in possessive pronouns. Hers, you will not put the punctuation sign of apostrophe. Okay, you'll write HERS directly and THEIRS theirs. You won't use any symbols or signs. Be careful to use the word its correctly. To show possession, we must use its without an apostrophe. Means we don't use any apostrophe. Now here, the lion was in great pain. Its paw was hurt. So here when you are writing its, you won't write any punctuation sign in its spelling. ITS. With an apostrophe, ITS apostrophe S, that is its, is a contraction of it is. Means what? When you are writing it's with an apostrophe, then it will become it is. But when you are writing ITS without any punctuation sign, then it will belong to someone. For example, here with apostrophe they had given it's a bright and sunny day. So over here it is a bright and sunny day. Let's start with reflexive pronouns. Page number 45. To show that the action done by the subject is reflected or turned back to the doer, we use a reflexive pronoun. In such sentences, the subject and object of the verb refers to the same person or thing. Reflexive pronouns are formed by adding self to the singular pronoun my, your, him, her, and it, and selves to the plural pronouns our, your, and them. So here example what they are saying, with my you will be using, then it will turn into myself in singular, your, yourself, him, himself, and her, herself, it, itself. But when you are using in plural, it will turn into ourselves, yourselves, and themselves. So here some words are given, I shall read. In singular, you will be using myself, yourself, herself, himself, itself, yourselves, ourselves, and themselves. So here these are reflexive pronouns. Example is given. The cow looked at itself in the pond. So to whom it's looking? Itself only. So here the action is turned to back to the doer. Who is the doer? Cow. Cow is watching and it is looking to itself. So the action goes back to her, and so it is reflexive pronoun. Kapil made a sandwich for himself. For whom he is making? For himself. So here the action again is turned back to Kapil only. So it is reflexive pronoun. Next one, emphatic pronouns. Look at the following sentences. He himself told me he would be there. Now who is telling? He. So he will be the antecedent and himself will be the pronoun. Next one. We ourselves cleaned up the area. So who is cleaning? Who's cleaning? We. And the pronoun what? Ourselves. Who are doing? We ourselves are doing. So here ourselves will be the pronoun and we will be the antecedent. So here going further. In these sentences, the pronouns himself and ourselves follow immediately after the people they refer to. In effect, they emphasize means what? To stress their antecedent. Now in the first one, what was the antecedent? He. And in the second one, we. About whom are you talking? About what is the subject in this? He in the first one, and second one, we. So they are the antecedent. And what are the pronouns in the first one? For he, himself, and second one, we, ourselves. So ourselves will be your pronouns. So here what they are saying, in effect they emphasize their antecedents. When a reflexive pronoun is used for emphasis, means when you stress, this I only did at that moment, it is called emphatic. We call it an emphatic or intensive pronoun. Intensive means what? Force, with great force. Yes, when you had seen someone had committed something, at that moment, how forceful you say in the same manner. Emphatic pronouns can have two positions. What are the positions? You should check it out. Immediately after the subject. When I told two examples, he himself or we ourselves. So here you had seen that next to the subject only it came. So here first rule, immediately after the subject. Geena herself took the garbage out. So here next to Gina only, and one more rule is there. What is that? Later in the clause. Now Gina took the garbage where? Out herself. So out herself is the extra thing. Students, now Gina took the garbage out herself. In reality it is not a clause, but the author had said it is a clause. Okay, so now I had to agree to the author, but here it is a complement sentence. Now, Gina took the garbage out. So here, herself, who's taking that? She by herself she is taking, and so it is emphatic. Now here, going further, we have the next one is relative pronouns. I told you that clauses chapter I shall explain you later, but here some clauses are there. Simple thing you have to understand is relative pronoun are WH words. WH interrogative words, you know that. Those are there. But you have to understand the antecedent also. Antecedent will be the subject. Let's go further. Relative pronouns. Look at these sentences. This is Preeti or Preeti. No, Preeti. I'll go for Preeti. This is Preeti whose uncle is a detective. Now in this particular sentence, this is Preeti. Next to that what came? A pronoun, relative pronoun came. Whose? That whose denote to whom? Preeti. Whose uncle it is? Preeti. So Preeti will be antecedent and whose will be relative pronoun. Next one. That is the official who gave me the form. Now here that who denotes to whom? The official. So who will be the relative pronoun and the official will be your antecedent. Let's go in detail. In the first sentence, what was the first sentence? This is Preeti whose uncle is a detective. In the first sentence, the word whose refers to the noun Preeti. It also introduces the relative clause whose uncle is a detective and connects it to the main clause. This is Preeti. In the exam, students, it will come this is Preeti dash uncle is a detective. Then you will be writing whose. Next one. In the second sentence, the word who refers to the noun officials. Officials means what? Officers. It also introduces the relative clause who gave me the form and connects it to the main clause, that is the official. Last year we did clauses chapter, complex sentences, compound sentences, as well as simple sentence. Over there also I explained to some of the students because I was teaching only in one section, so even other teachers have taught you. So here I am reading the sentence. This is particular. Right now we are doing pronouns. Okay, so don't get confused. We have to see only the pronouns. What will be in the exam? The question is going to come. That is the official who gave me the form. In the exam, how it will come? That is the official dash who gave me the form. Here only you have to think, students, that is WH words will come. Nothing else for relative pronouns will come. WH means what? Who, whose, whom, which, when. Those only words will come. So don't get confused. Now here, the words whose and who belong to whom? It belong to human beings. The words whose and who are called relative pronouns. Some of the relative pronouns are that, which, and whom. So you have to learn these words. Remember that the relative pronoun must always be placed as close as possible to its antecedent. Like example, first it was officials who. So here next to officials only who came. And Preeti whose. So next to Preeti only whose came. So you have to be cautious. So here two examples are given. The man who. So here next to that only it should be. It should not be far. Keep in mind the relative pronoun should be next to its antecedent, that is the subject. The man who won the competition is standing near the gate. Next one, my car, which, next to the car only which should come, not far away. Here two wrong sentences are given, so please go through it carefully. The car which has been damaged is with the mechanic. Let's look at the uses of relative pronouns. Now let's look at the uses of relative pronouns. Who, whom and whose. We use who to refer the persons only. Who can be used with both singular and plural nouns. The girl who looks after the children is sweet. As I told you prior also, in relative pronoun, antecedent, that is the subject about what you are talking, will be the antecedent. Here the girl is the antecedent, and next to that only the relative pronoun will come who. So here the girl who looks after the children is sweet. Second one, these are the students who want to participate in the games. Who wanted to participate in the games? The students. So dash will come for who. How it will come? The girl dash looks after the children is sweet. So here who you will add. Second one, these are the students dash want to participate in the game. So here you will add who. These are the students who want to participate in the games. Next one, we use whose to show possession. Whose refers to people and things. Rani, whose house is next door, comes to meet me every day. So next to Rani only whose will come. Next one, so it is showing the house belongs to whom? Rani. Next one, this is money whose car we borrowed. Whose car are we borrowing? Money's. So next to money only whose will come. Next one, we use the pronoun whom to refer what? To the object of the verb or a preposition. For example, the boy whom everyone liked was elected president of the club. So here, whom is the object of the verb liked. The boy whom everyone liked. So here, whom stands for boy. Next one, Manu, to whom I gave the ball, passed it on to Muhammad. So again, whom is the object of the preposition to. So here before whom, to will come. You have to learn that for exam. Some learners get confused about using who and whom. An easy way to solve this is to substitute he or she, him or her, or they or them in the sentence. Rule number 1. If he, she, they fits, then use who. For human being student, who will be using. Your example is, this is the girl who helped me. So about whom you are talking? That is she. She helped me. So here we are going to use who. Next one. Give me the names of the people who are attending. You are talking about they are attending. Who are attending? The people. So you will use who. Another rule. If him, her, them fits, then use whom. So here, Manan, whom we met after ages, was there for the union, that is reunion. We met him after ages. So here we have to use whom. About Manan you are talking. Manan is a boy, and so human being, you will be using whom. Next one. Anil and Rana, more than one students, both of whom were excellent. jointly received the first prize. So both of them were excellent. So here you're going to use whom more than one. Next one. Anil and Rana, who are both excellent, jointly received the first prize. They were both excellent, and so you are going to use who. Next one. Whose is also used to refer to non-living things. Sometimes whose is used in place of which, that is of which. So here examples are the moon whose light dispelled the darkness shone high in the sky. So here for moon, whose light it is? Its light. So you'll be using whose. The rectangle whose sides. You're talking about a non-living thing, students, and so you'll be using whose. Sides are equal may also be called a square. So whose side are you talking? Rectangle. So the sides of which rectangle. So you'll be using whose. Next one, use of that and which. First rule, we use which to talk of non-living things or animals. The dog which was hurt came limping, not walking properly, to my gate. So for dog you'll use which. I read a book which was written by Raja Rao. So you're talking about book, and so you'll use which. Next rule, we can use that for both people and things. This is a model aeroplane that I built. So you're talking about aeroplane, so here that will be there. Next one, the car that he drives belonged to his father. You're talking about car, so again that will come. Next one, this is the girl that won the race. About whom are you talking? About the girl, and so that won the race. Now what she won? That. So here you'll be using that. This is the girl that won the race. So here you'll be using that next to the girl itself. Next one. It is better to use a relative pronoun that. In that only two rules are there. First one. Here what they are saying, it is used as relative pronoun. Means what you can use over here? It is better to use relative pronoun that. Means that gives a better sentence. Now what is the rule? After adjectives in superlative degree, this is the best bat that we have. Means here what they are saying, students, best is superlative degree, and so you will be using that. Who is the fastest man that ever lived? So again fastest is the superlative degree, and so you'll be using that. Next one, after words like all, same, none, only, nothing, any, etc. So in these, whenever you see these words, so what will come? That will be used. For example, none that was present dared to speak. So here those who were there, none of them spoke. Dare to speak. Now here that will be used in that sentence. All that glitters is not gold. Again over here the word, what is there? All is there, and so you'll be using that. Nothing that we said could console her. Console, to make her calm, to make her understand. So here, but the word nothing is there, and so you'll be using that. The next rule is of interrogative. Now we'll go deeply for interrogative pronouns. Here I start with interrogative pronouns. To ask questions, we use interrogative pronouns. Interrogative pronouns except what have the same form as relative pronouns but are different in function. Students, simple it is. Interrogative pronouns, words which are used to ask questions are called interrogative pronouns. Which are they? WH questions. Who, what, which, whose, whom, and so on. So here examples are given. Who is there at the door? So what is the interrogative pronoun over here? Who. Next one. What did you make for dinner? So what is the interrogative pronoun? Which is your file? Again, which will be interrogative pronoun. Whose is this pen? So what is the interrogative pronoun over here? Whose. Next one. Whom did you find? So again, whom will be your interrogative pronoun. In the exam, how will be the question? Dash did you find? So whom you'll write. Dash is this pen. Whose you'll write. Dash is your file. So which you'll write, and so on. Often when we ask indirect questions, we use interrogative pronouns. For example, I want to know who told you to contact me. To contact me. So here, indirect question you're asking. Then who told you to contact you? Next one. Ask what this is. So again a question is there, but it is indirect question. Next one. Say what you want to. So here you're asking someone to tell. But here again indirect question you are using. Next one. A rule is given. Who, whose and whom are used only for people. Once again saying who, whom and whose are used only for people. As with relative pronouns. Here some examples are given with sub-rules. First rule, who is used subjectively. In subject place, who is used. How? Let's see. Dash left this year. So here your answer will be who left this year. Next one, dash baked the cake. So who baked the cake. Next rule for whose. Whose shows possession. Possession means what? Belonging to someone. So here the question will be, for example, dash is this pen. So here you will ask, whose is this pen? Next one, dash is that house in the corner. So whose is that house in the corner? Use the word whose carefully. Whose shows possessions. Whose as, that is who is. Okay. So that question you'll be using WHO apostrophe S. Okay, who is, when I'm saying that also pronounced as whose, but over there the apostrophe will be there and S will be there. WHO apostrophe S, but that won't come in possession case. So here two difference is shown by example. Whose chair have you taken? So here a belonging, the chair of someone you have taken, so you will use whose. And next one is, who's the girl in the pink dress? Over here, who is the girl means you're talking of a girl, and who's she you are asking. So you'll use who. Who is used for human being and whose is used for possession. Next one, next rule, whom is used objectively means in objective place. To ask, to get an object, you can. Now here, dash did you meet at the Zoom? Dash did you meet at the museum? So here the answer will be whom did you meet at the museum. Next one, dash should he give this bag? So here the answer will be to whom, but here with whom you are going to use the preposition to. So to whom should he give this bag? Students, next rule is which is used for both persons and things. When we use which, we imply limited choice. Now how it will be in the exam. Dash do you like the red one or the blue one? So which do you like? So you'll add which. Okay, your options are given. Red or blue one. Next question. Dash is good book on cooking. So here which is a good book on cooking. One more rule. We use what for things only. So when you're talking about things, you'll be using what. So how will be the question given? Let's see examples. Dash did you buy? So what did you buy? Next one. Dash do you think? What do you think? Now here first one it was given what did you buy, in the bracket it is given, we expect the answer to be the name of a thing. There can be many random answers, but you will be using a thing only. Next one, when we refer to a person and use what, we refer to his profession or employment. When I ask a question, students, what are you? So the answer will be, I am a doctor, I am a teacher, I am an architect, and so on. So you will be talking about the profession or what you are in your job. Next rule, like possessive adjectives, demonstrative adjectives, etc., there is grammatical class called as interrogative adjectives. Right now only we did. In the same way, the interrogative pronouns used before nouns with the function of adjectives are called interrogative adjectives. Keep in mind, whenever I talk about adjective, first an adjective will come and after that a noun will be there. Now here some questions are there. Which color? When I say which color, which is interrogative adjective and next to that a noun is there. You should understand that. Which color do you like? And the next one, whose pencil? Again, whose is an interrogative adjective and next one pencil is there. So before pencil, if there is a dash, at that moment pencil is a noun. So you will be using interrogative adjective. Whose pencil did you borrow? Next one, there is another pronoun that is called indefinite pronouns. Now indefinite, when you don't know the exact number, at that moment, randomly, if you know. Now if I'll ask you, how many people are there in the market? Now you don't know exactly how many are there. So you may say few, you may say many, you may say several. So for that, we are going to use indefinite pronoun. Let's go in detail. We use an indefinite pronoun to refer to something that is not definite or specific. Some examples of indefinite pronouns are all, few, many, any, anyone, anybody, anything, each, everybody, everyone, everything, nobody, another, none, one, several, some, etc. So these words are indefinite pronouns. Examples are given. Many came for the exhibition, but few bought anything. So here, what is the reason over here why many and few are used? A large undefined number of people, and so we are going to use many. That is, we are going to use indefinite pronoun many. And for few, a small undefined number of people, and so you are going to use indefinite pronoun few. Another example is, at the show, I saw none that was bored. It's not even a single was bored at the show. Here the main meaning is not one person also. So none is indefinite pronoun. In the first sentence, the indefinite pronouns many and few act as the subjects of the two clauses. Two clauses, different sentences joined together. One will be dependent and the other will be independent. As I told you, I'll be explaining clauses. I'll be explaining later on. This is pronoun chapter, otherwise you'll get confused. Now let's go further. You'll only understand pronouns over here. In the next sentence, none is the object in the clause I saw none. Next one, some indefinite pronouns can also be used as indefinite adjectives. Now which are they? Some. Okay, some can be used as indefinite pronouns also, and it can also be used as indefinite adjectives. When I say it is used as adjectives, indefinite adjectives, then what will come? First the pronoun and indefinite pronoun and then the that is noun will come. Let's see how. Would you like some rice? So some rice, when I say rice is a noun, and before that some came, so it is adjective. Now the next sentence. Yes, can I have some, and then please. Can I have some please? Then over here what will come? It is pronoun. Next one, each child. So each is an adjective, and after that noun came. Each child got a chocolate, so it's an adjective. Next one, each is a beautiful miniature. Miniature small, a very very small one. So each is a beautiful miniature. It's a pronoun. Now we shall start with demonstrative pronouns. Look at these sentences. This is the story I was talking about. This points to the noun story, which is its antecedent. So here what they are saying, student, that this, as I told you, this, that, those, these are what? They are pronouns. Now here, poor children envy those who have better opportunity. So those refer to children who have better opportunities. So those is what? Pronoun over here, demonstrative pronoun. Don't forget to write demonstrative, otherwise you'll get 0, because it is a type of pronoun. In these sentences, the words this and those have been used to refer to nouns. They are demonstrative pronouns. The demonstrative pronouns are, what are they? This, these, that, and those. The words this, that, these, and those are called demonstrative pronouns when they refer or point to nouns. Here are some examples. First example, the diagram she made is exactly like that in the book. So what is a demonstrative pronoun over here? That. Next one, if you think these are too many, you should see the collection. So over here, if they are asking only demonstrative pronoun, then you will only underline these. Okay, there can be many, but if they are asking only, right now we are doing the section of demonstrative pronoun, so we'll only underline these. Now another one, when we use the words this, that, these, and those before nouns, they are called as demonstrative adjectives. When adjective word comes, then first the demonstrative adjective will be there, next to that a noun will be there. Let's see how. This room is locked. So here, which room? This. So this is demonstrative adjective, and next to that room is there, qualifying the noun room. That play was enjoyable, qualifying the noun play. So here, what is the demonstrative adjective over here? That. Next to that, play. Play is a noun. Next one, these flowers smell good. So here, qualifying the noun flowers. So here, these will be demonstrative adjective and flowers will be noun. Those apples are rotten. So here, qualifying the noun apples. So here, when I say those apples, those will be demonstrative adjective and apples will be noun. So students, here we complete our pronouns chapter. Go through the chapter, read the rules, understand